Alright, listen up, Buttercup. Before you even think about touching those pristine IKEA parts, glance over these warnings. They're here because someone, probably you, tried to assemble a bookshelf with a hammer and a prayer. Basic safety, people. Don't be a Neanderthal. You need a screwdriver. Amazing, right? Don't assemble on a priceless antique rug. Don't damage the parts. And for the love of all that is holy, if you get confused at this stage, just stop. Call a professional. Or me. But mostly me. Step 1 for the cognitively impaired. Count the pieces. Yes, IKEA actually expects you to verify everything is there before you start complaining. Grab that L-shaped wrench. You'll be intimately familiar with it soon enough. If you're missing anything, congratulations, you've already failed. Go back to bed. For the rest of you, match the pictures, check the quantities. This isn't rocket science, it's glorified Legos. Okay, pay attention. We're starting with one of the shorter frame sections. See those holes? See the little wooden dowels? They go in the holes. Shocking, I know. Then, use those long screws, not the tiny ones, not the medium ones, the long ones, to connect the horizontal bars to the vertical posts. 3 screws on each side. If it's wobbly, you're doing it wrong. Don't come crying to me. Now, for step 2, we're laying out the slats. No, not slats, like the derogatory term for a person you dislike, but the wooden planks that will eventually support a mattress. Just lay them out. Flat. That's it. Don't overthink it. It's not a puzzle. Unless you're you, then maybe it is. Step 3. You laid out the slats, right? Good. Now, push them into place and secure them. You'll use those shorter, thicker screws for this. No, not the flat-headed ones, the pointy ones. If you're using the wrong screw, just stop. You're beyond help. Screw them in until they're snug. Not stripped, snug. There's a difference, clearly lost on most of you. Time for step 4. Grab one of the larger, solid panel pieces. See how it slides into the frame you just assembled? Look, there are even arrows. Arrows. For your convenience. Align it, screw it in using 3 of those medium-sized wood screws. If it's crooked, that's on you. I can't help with spatial reasoning. Surprise. Step 5 is exactly like step 1. Build the second short frame section. Same screws, same dowels, same stunning lack of originality from IKEA. If you messed up the first one, now's your chance to prove you can learn from your mistakes. Doubtful, but a man can dream. Step 6. Just like step 2 and 3. Lay out the slats for this second frame and screw them in. Are you bored yet? Because this is the most basic level of construction. If this is challenging, maybe reconsider your life choices. Step 7. Attach the second large panel to the second short frame. Just like step 4. Mirror image. Or, just the other one. 3 more screws. You're basically a master carpenter at this point, aren't you? No, you're not. Step 8. Now we bring in the long side rails. These are the ones with the little holes for the bed base later. See those giant bolts and barrels? You're going to use them to connect the 2 short frame assemblies you just painstakingly put together. Make sure they line up. If you force it, you'll regret it. Just like most of your life decisions. Step 9. You've got the long rails somewhat attached. Now, just slide them into position. Easy. Don't lift, don't strain, just guide them. If it's catching, something's misaligned. This is where patience comes in. And you have none. Step 10. See those smaller crossbars? They go between the long side rails, near the bottom. 2 of them. Use the L-wrench and those special bolts. These add stability. If you skip them, your bed will spontaneously collapse. Don't say I didn't warn you. Step 11. Time to attach the decorative end panels. These are the ones that give the KURA its distinctive look. One side first. Dowels and screws. You know the drill by now. Literally. Make sure it's facing the right way. No, I'm not going to tell you which way is right. Figure it out. Step 12. The other end panel. Just like the first. If you've made it this far, congratulations on assembling a basic rectangular prism. Don't pat yourself on the back too hard. You still have to make it useful. Alright, this is where your feeble mind might break. The KURA is reversible, meaning you can make it a low bed, a loft bed, or a bunk bed. Since you're clearly here for the bunk, we're doing the bunk. But just know, you had options. And you're probably making the wrong one. For the bunk bed, make sure the higher side is for the top bunk, obviously. Look at the little diagram. Seriously, look at it. Step 13 for the bunk bed. Now you're adding the specific bunk bed side frames. Take one of these. See the side with the wider opening? That's your top bunk opening. Make sure it's facing the right way up. Don't come crying to me when your kid falls out because you put the rail on the bottom. Step 14. Use that long, thin screw to secure the top corner of the frame you just attached. It goes through the side panel and into the vertical post of the bunk frame. Tighten it. Not death grip tight, just secure tight. So it doesn't fall apart when a child inevitably jumps on it. Step 15. Now for the bottom corner. Another long screw. Same principle as before. If you've been doing this correctly, it should feel stable. If it's still wobbling, you've achieved peak incompetence. Good job. Step 16. These are the ladder supports. The little wooden blocks with holes. They slide into the designated slots on the side of the bed frame. Don't put them upside down. Don't put them backwards. They're literally just supports. Even you can't screw this up, or can you? Step 17. Secure those ladder supports with the remaining medium screws. 2 screws per support. For total, make sure they're flush. If they're sticking out, your kids will catch their socks on them. And then they'll blame you. Rightly so. Step 18. The other side. It's a mirror image of what you just did. Seriously, IKEA isn't trying to trick you. If you put the first one on correctly, this one should follow suit. Unless you forgot everything you learned in the last 5 minutes. Which, let's be honest, is highly likely. Step 19. Secure that second bunk section, just like you did the first. 2 more of those long screws. By now, your hands are probably aching, your back is probably screaming, and you're questioning all your life choices. Good. That means you're almost done. Step 20. The top rail. This connects the 2 bunk end frames at the top, forming the upper bunk enclosure. Slide it into place. It should fit snugly. If you have to force it, you've probably warped something, you brute. Step 21. Secure the top rail with 3 more of those medium screws. Yes, 3. Count them. 1, 2, 3. Don't miss one. This is the last thing you want wobbling when someone's sleeping up there. Don't want to explain that to the ER doc. Step 22. One more top rail. This one goes on the other long side. It's essentially identical to the one you just installed. At this point, you should be moving with the efficiency of a well-oiled machine. Or, still fumbling, whatever. Just get it done. Step 23. 2 screws for this one. Make sure it's secure. Honestly, this should be intuitive by now. If not, maybe you should stick to puzzles that come in 10 pieces or less. Step 24. Now, those little metal brackets with the holes. They slide into the long side rails. These are what the bed base will rest on. Make sure they're facing the correct way. There's a notch. If they're wrong, your bed base will sit crooked or fall through. Your choice. Step 25. Grab the rolled up bed base. Unroll it. It sits on those metal brackets you just installed. It's springy. It's wood. It's precisely what you paid for. Make sure it's centered. Don't break it. It's actually a pretty important part. Step 26. Secure the bed base using those little plastic clips. They just push in. Click. If it doesn't click, you haven't pushed hard enough. Don't be shy. This keeps the base from shifting around like your attention span. And there you have it, folks. Step 27. Your KURA Reversible Bunk Bed, assembled. Now all you need is a mattress and a small human to throw on it. Don't forget, this thing can flip. If you built the low bed, you can flip it to a loft. If you built the loft, you can flip it to a low. The bunk bed, well, that's pretty fixed, isn't it? Go admire your handiwork. Or, just collapse from exhaustion. You earned it. Barely.